Well, welcome back, Texas. So we are continuing with this Girl Boss magic today and keeping the conversation moving with our next guest, Camille Kauer. Not only is she a child of Hollywood parents, get excited, but she's also a founder, producer, and an award-winning host. She has her own podcast. You guys ready to make your own podcast out there? Yes, we need the steps. We need the steps. So please help me welcome Miss Camille to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I absolutely love all this Black Girl magic you have going on, and this show is so amazing.
But before we get into family and all of your success, I want to talk a little bit about some of these films that your father helped produce. And you know, I look at movies today, and I just sometimes feel like I don't love it like I used to in the 90s. You know, in the 80s, so many good movies have come about, and I think a lot of the mature audiences are grown up, shall we say. I'm hitting 40, so it's like, wow, things are different today. But your father produced New Jack City, Baby Boy, Girls Trip with Queen Latifah, Jada Pinkett. Your mom also was a stunt double for Ice-T in New Jack City, which is funny because you know you don't think women are doing these stunts, and so many other movies. It's amazing, Camille. So talk a little bit about growing up in this life and watching all of these Hollywood stars. Your father just got a huge award not long ago for all of his work and film, and he is still going today with a big film that's coming out that we can't quite yet announce.
And he was like, once it's on IMDb, then I can say whatever I want. But for the most part, because his birthday was yesterday, so happy birthday, Dad. IMDb is kind of like my resume, and also reminds me where I lived when, because I did go to 26 different schools because my parents moved all over the country. So I feel like that kind of led to me being kind of the kind of person that ended up doing podcasting, because I was always curious by nature, and getting that opportunity to make my own content and not have to wait for the doors to open, especially being a woman of a certain age. I just felt like my opportunities in entertainment would dwindle, just like I saw with my mom. But luckily she was an artist. That's her art. It was a great opportunity. I got to be around so many amazing people because I also stood in myself for Diane Carroll and worked with her on Having Our Say. I got the best of both worlds in that sense. I get to do the education side, but I also grew up around these greats and just really got to see their process. And the questions I couldn't ask them on set because they were working is now what I get to do with my podcast. And you know, you got to do whatever you love, and the net will be there. Just take the jump.
Honey, talk about this podcast. So many people want to get into this, and you're seeing podcasts pop up everywhere, but I don't think a lot of people really know how to get started. So talk about how you were able to jump headfirst into this industry, and now you're going on, I think, season 4. Is that right?
Right. Season 4 will start next year. I'm on season 3 now. It'll end in December, and I'm giving myself a Christmas break.
Amen.
And then January I'll start back. And I always wanted to be a talk show host. I think from working with Oprah Winfrey and growing up watching her every day at 4 o'clock, I wanted to do that as well, because I know how much of an impact she made on me about being able to speak your truth and find out more about people and not make assumptions based on their lifestyle or what you think is going on. And plus, like, Lifestyle Rich and Famous, I loved all of those kinds of shows. So I applied first to work with Beautiful Brown Girls. They had an opening for a virtual talk show host. I was like, oh, location's not an issue, because I was still pretty much a stay-at-home mom, but I was still working in entertainment, doing commercials and print work. And so I started just getting back out there and putting myself out there, and ended up doing an interview on a radio show here locally for ESPN. They loved me and also invited me to do my own entertainment segment. So I brought in different celebrities, and that's where the E spot came from, and E standing for entertainment. And it was just a small 30-minute spot on the local sports talk radio show here. And after about 6 months on air, I won on air. Wait, I always have to look at the thing. Best local radio personality. And that really just encouraged me. But then 2 weeks after the awards ceremony is when COVID hit. You know, like all the people that I was just like, let's just see, because everybody was home. So it was just so easy to just get everybody and anybody. I reached out to, I got some no's, like Serena Williams told me no, but a lot of people said yes. And that's when I focused on. It was just like, I'll just keep this going until I get tired of it.
Now, we know she's got some financial resources, but guess what? Okay, because you at home might have some financial resources. Do not be afraid to go for the ask.
Mhm.
Go for the ask. There are so many people looking to support people like you. Coming up after the break, Camille, I'm excited you're going to stick around. We are going to talk a little bit about tips. Okay, so grab your paper, grab your pen, get the mimosa, get the coffee, or you just might want some water. We're going to show you how to get out there coming up next.